Well, hell, remember to get myself in line there. All right. I can see it is continuing to be one of those days. Yeah, it's my day has been an interesting day. I'm going to just to say the least. All right. Um, did not get any sleep last night. That's a lie. I got sleep. It's just I was up constantly throughout the night. I was I'd wake up and my feet felt like I had ice blocks tied to them. Could not get my feet warm. I even turned on my electric blanket. But then about the time my feet got warm, my upper body got hot. So if I took off the blanket off the upper top just to keep my feet warm, then my upper body got cold. It was a struggle all night long. I just not a good night's sleep. Then the wife was cold. Yeah, I tell you what, I almost wish I had. Oh, okay. So you did get your new internet installed the other day, like you'd hoped you were. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Even right now, my feet are cold, and I've got wool socks. So I'm sitting here at the air conditioner. Oh, I just shut off the air conditioner because I forgot to turn it off when the wife left for work a couple hours ago. But it's 74 degrees in the house, and I've got wool socks on because my feet feel like I've got ice cubes, that they're encased in blocks of ice. It's been this way now since last night. And I get up this morning and I'm on, and I go to take my morning pill, and I realize another reason why I didn't get any sleep last night. I mean, I was in pain most of the night, is I forgot to take my pills last night before I went to bed. I wasn't feeling good. I went to bed, and I'd forgotten to take my pain pills yesterday, both my 3 o'clock and 11 o'clock pills. I wake up this morning and find all my pills still in their containers. No. Well, I hope it works for you. Anyway, then I grab my cell phone and I head out in the kitchen to get my morning coffee. And my bank is one of these banks that at about 2:30 in the morning, they send out a text message. You can opt to have a text message sent out showing your account balance, your close of business account balance. And there was an extra $5,000 in my checking account that I was not expecting. I'm like, what the hell? So I get out the computer and I turn the computer on and I'm looking to see what's going on there. Oh, okay. And I tell you, look up Nate Petrosky on TikTok and on the YouTube. He lives up in West Virginia. He's a homesteader. He's got like 150 acres, and he lives almost dead square center of it. And he's got some interesting internet concoctions set up to keep for having his stuff running. And of course, it's all, none of it is wired. It's all done different ways. So, but anyway, so I get on the computer and I pull up my bank account to see what's going on. Where in the hell $5,000 came from? Almost 2 years ago, November, I started fighting. I submitted for disability through Social Security. I submitted for Social Security and Social Security disability. It was denied initially. Social Security, of course, was approved, but the disability portion was denied. Even though my boss had already, dropped me down to 16 hours a week, simply so that I could do computer work, because I physically wasn't able to do the rest of it. They denied me. So, semi-intelligent creature that I am, I went down, talked to lawyers, and last week it got approved, and Social Security, in their infinite wisdom, decided to let me find out that it got approved last week by let me find out when I got bank money put in my bank account. They approved it back on the 22nd, and here it is the morning of the 26th, and I'm just now finding out that my disability got approved. Now, it's not much. It's just a couple $100 a month extra in my bank account, but anything at this point is better than nothing. At least hopefully it'll be enough to cover my Medicare, because, ladies and gents, when you're getting ready to turn 65, I didn't. Thank God I did not. I started about 5 months ago. I wish I'd started a year ago, to be honest. But I started several months ago, probably 6 months ago, looking into Medicare and all this other crap, because I knew I was going to lose my health insurance when I turned 65. So I'd have to go on Medicare. That's just the way things go. And it is a cluster truck. It really and truly is. And you will start getting crap through the mail from every company and their brother. You will get invites to free breakfasts, to free luncheons, to free dinners, to sit through a 2 to 3 hour lecture on that particular company's or that particular insurance agent's Medicare packages and what they can offer you. Yeah, your Samsung account. Yeah, Josh, that's something that I keep up on. Keep both mine and the wife's Samsung's accounts up running. I keep those current. I don't let those two expire out. Which, if you haven't already figured out, they will expire out if you don't use them. If you don't at least log into them every few months. But yeah, when you turn 64, people start looking, talking to different people. And the biggest thing, I think the thing that's helped me out the most is I went and talked to two of my doctor's office personnel that dealt with their insurance claims. And I asked them, what companies, what agents do they recommend? And then using those lists, then first of all, that told me who they accepted and who accepted them. Because of course, I want to keep these two doctors that I've got, these two doctor offices. I'm willing to change primary doctors. I'm not willing to change my two specialists. Oh, Josh, you should be able to fix that by actually calling their 1-800 number. That's what I did for my son's Samsung account. Because we called their 1-800 number and we got it fixed out using that. Yeah, it was a pain in the neck and it took a while, but we got it. So, but we did get it. It was time consuming and such, but yeah, we were able to get it set back up. But yeah, so go ahead and get, you start getting up there in age, get your, if you're seeing a specialist, talk to their people that actually do their insurance billing and see what companies and what agents they recommend. Work it that way. Don't work it the other way. And then, of course, before you make your final decisions, like I get, my medicines and such, my infusions. I made certain that the company that does my infusions accepts them, and vice versa. So I'm about ready to pull the trigger on that. I've got another 30 days, but I'm about ready to pull the trigger on that. So, but anyway, did get that piece of good news though this morning. And $5,000 right now, that's a nice little cushioning in the bank. Oh, I can definitely live with that. I need to talk to my lawyers, make certain they got paid. I'm sure they did. Because I figure I should have, if they did back pay to the time I initially requested, I figured I should have got about $10,000 instead of 5. So that means hopefully the lawyers got the other 5, which would clear me up with them. That means I don't owe them any money. But let's go to my thumbnail today. The FOO Fighters versus Donald J. Trump. What a conglomeration this has turned out to be. The other day, when Robert F. Kennedy Jr. walked out on stage to announce that he was not stopping campaigning, only suspending his campaign. He didn't drop out of the campaign. He did drop his name from 6 or 7 states, toss-up states, basically because he didn't want to hurt Trump. He felt it was more important that Trump gets all the votes he can in these toss-up states, but he did keep his name on the states where he could hurt Kamala, which was about 26, 27 states. Which is good news. That's good. Hey, he's still on the ballot in quite a large number of states. But as he was walking out to the stage, they played the song "My Hero" by the FOO Fighters. And the FOO Fighters got pissed. FOO Fighters fans got pissed. And it has started up one huge storm amongst. And we'll start off with the biggest, with the biggest liars of the bunch of the media, CNN. Well, they're not the biggest. They're the next biggest, right behind MSNBC. FOO Fighters did not give Trump campaign permission to use their song at rally, spokesperson says. Rock band FOO Fighters did not give Donald Trump's campaign permission to play one of their songs at a recent campaign rally, a representative for the band said. And they plan to donate any royalties from the unauthorized use to Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign. On Friday, the FOO Fighters song "My Hero" was played at a campaign rally for Trump in Arizona. A spokesman for the band said, however, in a statement to CNN on Sunday, the group didn't give Trump's campaign the green light to use their hit 1997 rock anthem. 1997. Hey, Wiley, good morning. $1997. I mean, I was still in high school in 1997. No, I was 1997. I'm sorry. I'm thinking 1977. 1997. I was still active duty military. I mean, we're talking what, 27 years ago? That song come out? FOO Fighters were not asked permission, and if they were, they would not have granted it, the statement from the representative said, adding that any royalties the band received as a result of the use will be donated to that Harrison Waltz campaign. Earlier this month, Celine Dion issued a statement criticizing Trump's unauthorized use of her 1997 Titanic ballad, "My Heart Will Go On," at Raleigh in Montana. In no way was this authorized, and Dion does not endorse this or any similar use. The statement added joking jab to the campaign's musical choice, and really that song? Who cares? Who cares? All right, so CNN. That was Sunday, yesterday. All right. I screwed up. What else is new, right? So let's take a look here at the Washington Examiner. Foo Fighters taking action against Trump campaign for song usage, donating royalties to Harris. This was Saturday. The Foo Fighters, an alternative rock band, are pursuing action against former President Donald Trump's campaign for his unauthorized use of the band's song My Hero. The campaign played a song at an Arizona rally when it introduced Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to the stage, who had endorsed Trump just hours earlier. Foo Fighters were not asked permission. If they were, they would not have granted, the spokesman told Billboard's the song's usage. Furthermore, appropriate actions are being taken against the campaign, the spokesman continued. And any royalties received from the song's usage will be donated to the Harris Waltz campaign. The band made it apparent on their X account they did not give the Trump campaign permission. Wu-Tang is for children. Hey, Foo Fighters, did you let the Trump camp Foo Fighters, no. The Washington Examiner reached out to the Trump campaign but did not receive a response. The Trump's communications director, Stephen Chung, denied this song was played without permission. Oh, we have a license to play the song, he told Newsweek. The Foo Fighters or their spokesman have no idea what they are talking about and are engaging in faux outrage. Kamala wins, an X account declaring itself to be the largest online community supporting. Whoa, love this. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, it's all right. Declaring itself the quote largest online community supporting soon-to-be Kamala Harris's. Soon-to-be President Kamala Harris, unquote, celebrated the band's actions against the Trump campaign. Breaking, the Foo Fighters are suing Donald Trump over his unsolicited use of their song My Hero. The Foo Fighters have announced they'll donate royalties to Kamala Harris's campaign they protested. And then the truth comes out. Update, and this is Gateway Pundit. Update. Foo Fighters caught in a major lie after threatening Trump with appropriate actions for playing their hit song My Hero at Arizona rally with RFK Jr. The Gateway Pundit's Kristen Taylor reported Saturday the rock band Foo Fighters threatened President Trump with appropriate actions, quote unquote, after their 1990s hit My Hero was played while Robert F. Kennedy Jr. took the stage at a rally in Glendale, Arizona Friday night. Now, news has emerged suggesting they should be the ones facing said appropriate actions. Foo Fighters posted 2 comments on X Friday night about My Hero being played at the Trump Kennedy rally. The first is a simple no when asked if they'd given approval, and later a brief let's be clear comment. The post quoted the earlier comment. Rock band said it would not only take legal action against the Trump campaign, but also donate royalties from its lawsuit to the socialist. Okay, this is a pundit, okay, Gateway Pundit, to the socialist Harris Waltz ticket. The Trump campaign responded by insisting they did have a license to play the song. One news outlet covered the truth and saying it turned out the FOO Fighters had lied. The Independent reported Saturday the Trump campaign did have permission to play My Hero at the rally. The paper has seen documents that confirm Team Trump licensed a song from BMA Song View service. The FOO Fighters have ignored the fact they sold their rights to BMI while threatening to sue the Trump campaign. What dishonest virtual signaling leftists. So, what this boils down to, the dirty little secret of the music industry is when you sign a contract with these music groups or the music record producers and such, you also sign right away the rights to your songs. Remember, not too long ago, Taylor Swift tried buying back her rights. And when she couldn't, she started redoing her original songs in order to keep the rights. She rewrote them, reproduced them, and then re-released them so that she would have rights to the new releases. Oh yeah, Prince was mad. Well, thank you for beating up that like button there, Josh. And I did send out links to Ramen and to Dar. Dar, he doesn't pop on except on Fridays that much anymore. Him got work to do. Him still out there earning a paycheck. So, hey, Digi, good morning. So these musicians, most of them don't own the rights to the songs they sing. Their record albums own the rights, and most of those record albums sell the rights to big groups like BMI, who turn around and license those songs. You know, I just saw one of this guy Austin Ethan Foreman over on TikTok, and I think he's also here on YouTube. He's an independent country artist. He just licensed one of Dixie Chicks songs for like $75. And that's basically so he can do a parody of it. So, I mean, licensing a song is cheap, evidently. I wouldn't have thought it was that cheap, but yeah. I just saw, like I said, you know, this guy was licensing a Dixie Chicks song, and I'm going to be honest. Okay, I didn't even know they were still a thing, the Dixie Chicks. Well, I think they changed their name to the Chicks. I think I read here in the past day or two, they just changed their name to the Chicks because their original name, ever since they went overseas and badmouthed America, their name got dragged through the mud as the Dixie Chicks. Nobody wanted anything to do with them. That was back during the Bush administration. So, but anyway, yeah, evidently it's real cheap to license a song. And if you're only licensed it for a single plane at a single event, it's even cheaper. or I mean, really super affordable. Plus, there's like arenas. Arenas will, like that event there was held in an arena, and arenas will have already bought licenses to hundreds or if not thousands of songs to give a song list to people who are renting the arena that they can use, that they can pick and choose from, that the arena is already licensed for use at the arena. And then, of course, if you're doing an independent thing like Trump did there in Pennsylvania, in Butler, well, then you have to go to like BMI and do it separately. So, hey, Ramen. Oh yeah, definitely try to get a Beavis, Beatles or Elvis song. As long as thanks to Disney, Wiley, the that law, those laws, copyright laws, are so bollocksed and twisted and convoluted now because Disney had the rights to the Happy Birthday song, the one we all know, and they were so adamant on the use of that song that they went after any restaurant chain that sang that song as we all know it, or any restaurant. Now, they didn't go after, people singing it at school for a kid, or mom and pop singing it, in a backyard birthday party. That Disney's got enough black eyes for doing. Disney gained a huge black eye when a kid who was, I believe he was a Spider-Man fan, and the kid died really young, like 6 or 7 years old. And the dad wanted to get Spider-Man engraved on his tombstone. And he went to Disney and asked for permission to do it, and Disney refused. They didn't even offer to say, yeah, pay us $100, you can put it on there. They just said, no, you can't do it. And when that got around, Disney got a huge black eye out of that. The food, okay, give me just a second. At Trump's rally Friday, when they was bringing out RFK Jr., they played the Foo Fighters song My Hero from 1997. Foo Fighters got their panties all twisted up and said they were going to sue Donald Trump, and any money that they made is going to be sent to Kamala Harris. Well, and I mean, you can go out there to CNN, and CNN still hasn't run a correction on this. CNN and ABC, NBC, CBS, and obviously MSNBC, none of them have actually gone and ran a correction to the original story or an update to the original story. Not as of an hour ago when I was able to get on the computer and start looking for this. But it has come out that Trump the Foo Fighters do not own that song anymore. They sold that song to the record album, who turned around and sold it to BMI. And the Trump team paid for the license to play that song at that rally. So the Foo Fighters will not get any money. They cannot, They can't sue all they want, but it will get thrown out of court. That would be like me going over and suing my neighbor for using their car, for using an Avis rental car that just happened to be identical to my car or my wife's car. I don't own that car. Just because I own a car like it, or I may have owned that car and sold it to Avis, I got no rights to that song, to that car. Well, the Foo Fighters don't have any rights to that song. They don't make any money off that song. They made all their money back when they sold it. But they are getting all kinds of credit right now, the Foo Fighters, for standing up to Donald J. Trump, and that they're going to sue him and donate all the money that they make from that lawsuit to Kamala Harris and the Waltz campaign. Whoop-dee-doo. You ain't go. The Foo Fighters ain't going to see a damn dime out. Now, BMI is going to make a crap ton of money because everybody is now remembering that song from 27 years ago. And it's going to get some airplay. So BMI is going to make all kinds of money off of it. Foo Fighters ain't going to make jack. They done got paid for that and spent that money years ago. Right, exactly right, Willie. It belongs to BMI. Now, over on another social media platform, several people there were able to have screenshots, images from the Trump campaign of their license, their contract or whatever, to where they paid the agreement for them to play that song. And I spent a while looking for it this morning, and of course, I can't find it anywhere. So I wish I could, or else I'd put that out there. Oh yeah, Zappa. I mean, all these big groups. I mean, who was it that owned all of Michael Jackson's music? No, Michael Jackson owned all the Beatles music, wasn't it? Didn't Michael Jackson buy the entire Beatles library? Warner Brother now owns Michael Jackson stuff now? Okay. All right, thanks, Raman. Yeah, so I mean, these libraries are out there, and if you got the money, you can buy the library and own the rights to the songs. Then you can use them any way you want to. Josh, I'm the same way, man. That's prior military. They started that BMI stuff a few years before I retired. It was before jump on the scales. Okay, my magic numbers was 225 pounds. So take off my steel-toed boots, take off my jacket, empty out all my pockets. Take off my blouse. Be standing there in just my pants, socks, and t-shirt, and they would take off 5 pounds for that because them fatigue pants are heavy. Though not the fatigues, but the BDU pants at the time were heavy. And 225 pounds was my max limit at that time. Jump up on those scales, and I'd come in at 200 pounds. I'd be, yes. Happy man, happy man. Then they went to the BMI. Didn't matter how much you weighed. They took your neck measurement and they took your waist measurement and they looked it up on the chart, the difference between the two. And then they had what your age was, and that told you what the magic number was. I don't remember what all the calculations were. And I hated that because I've got a pencil neck. I always have had a pencil neck. Whereas a friend of mine, he didn't have a neck. He had like a 27-inch neck. Yes, 27-inch neck. His neck was as big around as some women's thighs or their waistlines. Oh yeah, well, that's when you were kickboxing. Yep. We didn't have Josh. Okay, I don't think we had that big of a problem. Not in the unit I was in. Okay, because again, we were on the flight line, and we did so much walking, and our daily. Other than the office workers, those of us that were actually out on the line, we did so much walking and jogging just through our normal day-to-day activities that we got in all kinds of exercise. And lifting aircraft components over our heads, climbing boarding ladders. Yeah, we got in our steps, no problem. So that was, yeah, my buddy did have a neck like a Rottweiler. He was, it dropped straight down from his ears. He was huge. We had another guy that they sent to. I know we're getting way off topic here. When I was in Luke Air Force Base outside of Phoenix, Arizona, they sent him down to Lackland, and they did the dunk test on him there because he was like, and this is back again, the old get on the scales. How tall are you? This is the maximum. Height, age. This is the max you can weigh. And he was like 40 pounds overweight. Well, they sent him down to Lackland and did the water submersion test. And he just sank, from my understanding. They figured him out. He at like 7.5%, 8% body fat. He was just he was just a big guy, lifted a lot of weights, and they waved him up to 300 pounds. They said he could weigh basically he said he could weigh whatever he wanted to weigh. So yeah, but he was a weightlifter, so he was massive character. I don't know if you've ever seen anybody do the water submersion test. Water displacement test is what it was called. and he displaced all the water. My body, my body was always happy. When I first joined the Air Force, I weighed 175, 180 pounds. And when I retired, I weighed 215. And I was happy at that 215. And then I spent a couple years having multiple surgeries and blowing up in weight to where, yeah, I put on over 100 pounds. But anyway, so the Foo Fighters, they are, we're not going to see the media come out and say Trump was right, yada, yada, yada. You know, this whole story is going to go away, and it's going to go away with, oh, Foo Fighters are going to get millions of dollars, and they're going to donate it all to the Harris campaign, and and it's all coming out of Trump's coffers. Yes, 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 this is great. Foo Fighters aren't going to get a dime because they don't own that song anymore. It's that simple. So, okay, let's see here. I got to walk away from the computer here for a moment. It's Monday, as we all know, unfortunately, and I am having to do my infusion today. And I got, thanks to everything else that's been going on this morning, I got a very late start on everything, including starting my infusion. And as soon as I'm done with this afternoon, later on today, early afternoon, I got to go out to the hotel and find out why some people are having trouble getting on their computer. They're having to use my logons to get on the computers this morning, which is not good. All right, so let's see here. I'm back in the computer. What's that? That's Foo Fighter there. What's this here song? Okay, that's another story about the Foo Fighters. I'm not worried about that now. We've beat that horse to death. Speaking of RFK Jr., his family has disowned him. I'm going to see if I can find the tweet. See if I can find the tweets here. But the Kennedy family, they are really ticked off. Kerry Kennedy and Max Kennedy condemned their brothers' decision to endorse Republican nominee for president. It's worse than disappointment. They are just absolutely angered by this. I'm trying to find. Oh, Keith Olbermann. Let's see here. Go ahead and share this. A lot of people are really upset at Kennedy. Keith Olbermann, to my old friend at Robert Kennedy Jr., you are a effing anti-American disaster. To which RFK responds, you are never my friend. Let's see here.
I think this is really the stakes this November couldn't be higher, which is exactly why my whole family will be fighting so hard to reelect Kamala Harris and Coach Waltz, who've been champions.
Okay, I want to reelect Kamala. Kamala's never elected president, so you're not reelecting her to anything. You're trying to elect her president. Now, if you notice, she's got the same voice as Robert does. So evidently, they've got the same medical issues there, which is nothing to laugh at. I mean, I feel for both. I never knew she had the same issues that her brother had. It's bad enough when he's got it, but for a woman to have that same issue with her voice, that's even harder, I believe.
Coach Waltz, who've been champions for the values that my family has fought for years. Donald Trump is the polar opposite. He's a threat to the most basic freedoms that are core to who we are as Americans, the right for women to control our bodies, the right to live in communities safe from gun violence, to love who you love. And I think if my dad were alive today, the real Robert Kennedy would have detested almost everything Donald Trump represents. His lying, his selfishness, his rage, his cynicism, hatred, racism, fascist sympathies, deliberate misinformation about vaccines, criminal felony convictions. Daddy was the Attorney General of the United States. His rape of E. Jean Carroll, his contempt for the poor and suffering, for ethics, democracy, healing, his cruel.
Okay. She opened herself up for a lawsuit by Trump. Trump has never been convicted of rape. And yet she just claimed that Trump had been convicted of, she just said that Trump raped her. Trump has never been convicted of that rape. He's never been convicted of it. Imaginary Steve, how's it going?
Sneering at human rights for suffering people in America and around the world. And these are the causes that was loved so passionately by the real Robert Kennedy. So I'm outraged and disgusted by my brother's gaudy and obscene embrace of Donald Trump. And I completely disavow and separate and dissociate myself from Robert Kennedy Jr. in this flagrant and inexplicable effort to desecrate and trample and set fire to my father's memory.
But why?
Wow. Thanksgiving is going to be interesting at the Kennedy clan this year. Thanksgiving is going to be extremely interesting. They have really and truly So much for allowing for the diversity of thought. Now, RFK, to be honest, RFK has been an anti-vaxxer from the get-go. And Trump is the one that Operation Warp Speed to build the vax. Yeah, there is an issue there. Evidently, it must be genetic for both of them to have it. I know Kennedy, he's on medication. Okay, let's see here. Let me share this. Okay, anyone with the following Robert Kennedy has a particular harsh voice. This is caused by a neurological condition called spasmodic dysphonia, also known as laryngeal dysphonia, results in a shaky or tight or strange sounding voice. So, yep. And it looks like his sister's got the same thing. Now, I'm not surprised that she went on MSNBC to give up her little rant there. I don't know if she was out on CNN or anyone else to do it. But there's been a lot of people, really, a lot of the members of the family have been really going after her. Jack Schlossberg, never been less surprised in my life, been saying it for over a year. RFK is for sale, works for Trump bedfellows and loving it. RFK, F you. He draws no punches. I love that. I have loved this poster since I can remember it coming out. The original Star Wars, 1977, 1978. God, that was a great movie. I absolutely loved it. All right. Whoops. Stop sharing. Now, the Secret Service, all right, after Kennedy's announcement that he was suspending his campaign, immediately dropped all their protective coverage of him. Oh, that would be a great poll there, Raman. Oh, I was surprised when they didn't. Back when my wife suffered from petite epilepsy, I was surprised when that they let her have her license. Because even before we got married, there were several times that she had episodes when I was with her. And then she got pregnant with our son, and she hasn't had a seizure since. The hormonal changes that her body went through during the pregnancy took care of that issue. Willie, I honestly don't remember what the 78 Monte Carlo looked like. Because I was too poor to consider buying anything brand new back in 1978. Oh, nah. Um, nah, I have to disagree with you. I'm not a fan of the 78 Monte Carlo. I'm not a fan of that car at all. I'm sorry, I gotta disagree with you. So, hey, Silvar, good morning. Yeah, I was always more of a Mustang fan, especially the 64 and a half. Pro Street, Monte Carlo. Okay. And I really don't see the difference. Fatter tires on the back end, but yeah, it's well, that's what came up when I put in Pro Street. It says 1978 Monte Carlo T-Top Pro Street on it. So anyway, I'm not that much of a car guy anyway, so close that. Don't need that anymore. I don't need that one. Don't need that. I'm going to be honest when it comes to RFK. I'm not a fan of RFK. All right, I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of him. He's a little too wild on most situations. Most of his stuff. Um, but he is one of the few people in today's political world that still talks about Operation Mockingbird. And ever since Obama made it legal in the United States to use the news media to propagandize the American population, Operation Mockingbird is more, more people ought to know what Operation Mockingbird was, and how it's probably in another way, shape, and or form being used against Americans today. We hear about the Democrats decrying misinformation and disinformation, but when they've got the media sewn up in their pocket, it's only stuff that they think that they want to have labeled misinformation and disinformation. And there's no, it's been what, 35, 36 days now since any reporter has actually talked one-on-one in a real live interview with Kamala. She has not given any kind of interview ever since. She has not given an interview ever since. In over a month. That link, it goes to a pickup truck there, Willie. That link goes to a pickup truck. Just a little small block pick 'em up running down the street. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. Oh, yeah. This debate stuff is so bollocksed up. Kamala has said that she's going to do an interview sometime within the next 7 days. However, it will not be a one-on-one interview. She's going to have one of her handlers there with her to help her out. So poor Kamala can't even do a one-on-one interview without somebody there to help her. We've all listened to her in her interviews. We all like little yellow buses, and I just love a Venn diagram. And remember when she goes to plug in that electric car, and she's standing there holding it like she was pumping gas? Like she's got to stand, she's acting like she's got to stand there and hold that handle until the car's fully charged. And that cackle of hers, my Lord have mercy. If anything ought to be made, they need to record that and use that for psychological warfare. Use her cackle for psychological warfare. That's all there is to it. Yeah, I had a feeling you meant pro street instead of prostate. So, or excuse me, prostrate. But yeah, this is really turning into a cluster truck. This whole thing, I don't know what they're going to do with it. I don't know how they're going to do anything with it. We all ought to be concerned about this election. And just to be honest, we all need to be concerned about what's going to go on with this coming election, because we've got the media lying to us. We've got a presidential candidate that hasn't been seen outside of rallies and giving prepared speeches, or excuse me, a prepared speech at nearly every rally, the same speech, just a few words. She can't even come up with a motto, a slogan. Trump's "Make America Great Again." All right, plain and simple. She's tried a couple, 3, 4 of them out there. If we fight, we win. If we fight, we win. Or when we fight, we win. Is that really any kind of a slogan? I fully admitted to you guys, I am not a huge Trump fan. I disagree with him on quite a few of his issues. He's not strong enough on the Second Amendment as far as I'm concerned. He's maybe now he'll be willing to go out there and take a side to the federal government, to the federal bureaucracies, and get rid of quite a bit of it, par them all down. Besides the NEA, it's more than the NEA that needs to go. But we do need him on getting the Supreme Court. Thank God Biden only got to nominate one justice to the Supreme Court. Because Thomas, he's getting old enough. Thomas needs to think about retiring. There's a lot going on here, besides who's going to be sitting there in the front of our government as head of the executive branch in the military that we've got to worry about. We got to worry about the Supreme Court. If Kamala gets in there, we're going to get more people like Conjunctive Brown who can't define what a woman is. No, I'm not a biologist. I can't tell you what a woman is. You would think that she would know. I mean, this is something that popped up, when I was looking through X this morning. Seattle schools. Okay. Women belong in sports. Shared their journeys with female identifying students from the Renton schools as part of their commitment about getting women in sports. Female identifying students. We need that. We need this straight. We need this straightened out. We really and truly do. Somebody this morning, I've said it before, I'll say it again, that I want to keep our government secular. I do not want a religious government. Not because I'm not religious, not because I don't have my faith. But I've got my faith and you've got yours. You have in this country, you have the right to have your own faith. The problem that we've got, though, is our government right now. This is my personal view. And if somebody gets upset with me, I understand, okay? We have gone so far in having our government being secular that we've gone almost demonic. We've gone so far in kicking Christianity, Judean Christian principles out of our government that our government is advancing policies that in any other setting would almost be considered demonic. You're evil. And, is there really and truly no room? And, I got asked this morning and I want to say, yes, there is room in our government for people of faith, for people, even of different faiths. But for the Judean Christian belief system to be completely pushed out of our government, as it has been over the past few decades, I think we as a country are hurting because of it. Okay, Josh, let's see here. Yeah, I don't remember who it was that is given credit for saying, but it doesn't matter who votes. What matters is who counts the votes, or it's who counts the votes that matters. This is something else I think that needs to be a lot stricter. A lot tighter controls over. Thank God Arizona Supreme Court upheld the Arizona law saying that, or portions of the law, that people have to, if they're registering to vote, they have to present paperwork showing that they're a U.S. citizen. Birth certificate, naturalization papers, something like that, showing they're a citizen. I think that's wonderful. That ought to be a bare minimum in every state. That in order to register to vote, you have to show that you're a U.S. citizen. And if a state wants to issue a driver's license to somebody who's not a citizen, that license should only be good within that state. And if the regular state license is green, then the license for a non-citizen should be red or purple. And only good in that state. They can't, that license is no good outside of the issuing state. That's my personal opinion. Florida doesn't want to have to issue driver's licenses to people who've entered the country illegally. Nobody should be allowed, no illegal should be allowed to drive a vehicle in the state of Florida. And I think that's more than ready for the state to do. But anyway. Exactly, Silvar. Thank you. I agree with you 100%. Let's put this. I agree with your statement as far as it goes, 100%. Okay. I don't think obviously, human ritual sacrifice should be allowed by any religion within our country. That's a given. Now, there's some religious observations by some that should, that's beyond the pale. But for the most part, 90% of the way, I think you're right. So I am going to go ahead and cut this. I know I started a half hour late this morning, but that was because other things had, popped up and kept me from going online any earlier than what I did. And like I said, I've got to call my lawyer's office and see if they got paid. If they got paid when I got paid. So we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be starting at 9:00 tomorrow morning. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy yourselves. Be with the ones you love and love the ones that you're with. And have a good one.